looks like we are live now. Hey, good afternoon guys. Today we have the first part of many to come. I'm streaming this in English for the viewers, for everyone to understand. My name is HJ. I come from Norway, and today we are gonna look at Age of Empires 2, the Definite Edition. You can find this game on Steam and on Xbox Live Services, the Xbox Store. This is a guide for new players and newcomers to the game, and we will look at the basics today and the economy, how to handle the resources and how to build a town and get you started. This is the menu on we call it DE. DE stands for Definite Edition, the main menu. When you get to this main menu, I recommend clicking on this, is it called a cog or something, a wheel? You click on that, you go to mods, but before we do all of this, I'm just gonna showcase the difference for the next step. I'm gonna start a single player game versus the AI, the computer. And we're gonna, there's a mini map on this game. We're gonna put it on all visible so we can weave all of the map when we begin. And this is how it looks like the first time you boot up the game. Nothing, no mods or anything else installed, and you can see we have big trees over here. And if I were to shop these trees, let's go and shop the trees. I'm gonna show you the difference on the first step. This is your first game, and the forests, the trees will look like this. And right away you can notice that the trees are really big, and it's really hard to see anything because the villagers is almost hiding behind the trees. So it's hard to get a close look at what they are doing, but you can see they are shopping and getting the wood resource. Okay. So the first step that I want to show you guys, if I go back to the main menu now, you click on this cog and you go to the mods button. In here you go to the browse mods tab at the top, and luckily for us the most popular and most downloaded mods are at the top, and you can see at the second line here there's a mod called Small Trees. Replaces all trees with smaller versions. This is my big recommendation at the beginning, start of the game. Go to the mod place, and you download this Small Trees mod by clicking subscribe. Takes a little while. It's 15 megabytes in size. Let's wait for it to finish. It's gonna be there any second now. There we go. Now we can go click the back button and get back to the main menu. And just a quick input for everybody. There is a new thing in the latest patch that makes the mods work immediately after you have installed the mods. You don't have to restart the game and reopen the game anymore. You can just go straight into the game again, and the mod should work after the latest patch. And if I boot up the game again, start a new game versus the AI, the computer, you can see that it's a huge difference in the forest trees size. And if I were to shop the trees again, you can see I can actually click on the trees this time and look where they want to go and where they are going to shop the trees. It's much easier and gives you a better overview of the map and the forests. You can see I can click on the forests, and actually it's so much cleaner and better to look at. That was the first step. The first step was to get the small trees mod, and now we're gonna begin the main tutorial here. This time I'm gonna click on the minimap and make it back to normal instead of the all visible. You can see everything. So when I boot up the game now, I will see shadows and areas where I need to explore. And it looks like this. First of all, before I do anything else, I want to click on the right button up here in the right corner. This is the menu button again, and you go to options. We go to the graphics bar, and right here I'm gonna explain some things. First of all, we can look at the bloom button, and this bloom button, I have this enabled now. It has with lightning to do. The areas that you might get like sunlight and stuff like that on the terrain, and the terrain will look much brighter. So when I play usually on my account, I have this disabled because sometimes you can get very bright areas and it's hard to look at, and yeah, it's basically very bright to your eyes. So I like to put the bloom off. I don't think I can. Maybe if I go back and I use some sheets here to look at the map again. I think this is a good example on this hill over here. If I were to look at this hill, I go back to options, back to the graphics tab, and I disable bloom. I think the hill will look more natural again. It's much harder to look the difference on grass terrain. When you have desert type of maps, is when you can see it more clearly on the desert type maps. So it's up to each player, of course, but I do play without the bloom. The next thing I want to show you guys, let's go back to the shadows again, back to how it looks like. You can see here in the shadows you have a mist, like clouds in the shadow, and some people enjoy that. Personally, myself, I don't like to look at this when I'm scouting and exploring the map. So I usually go to the options again, back to the graphics, and I disable the fog. It's the on the bottom of the list here. and I can show you the difference now. Without the mist and the clouds, you can see it's just plain black. And I do like to play more with this, because again, it's better to look at, in my opinion, for the eyes. You don't have to look at the mist all the time. Just moving the scout, the first horse cavalry unit you get in the game. You can explore with it. You can see it's just black areas that turns to visible. And also here again in the options menu, you have particles and depth of field, and enable sharpen, and some other things there. I only play with enable sharpen. That's what I do. The depth of field, it's like it has to do with the borders, I believe. Let's see if I can see what it is about. If I go to the corner and the border here, edge of the map, and let's see what this does. I'm not quite familiar and used to what this does, but this is how I do it. I remove the bloom. That's lightning, and it puts like small light areas on the terrain, and it's hard to look at when you play desert type of maps. And I remove the mist, the clouds in the shadow. That was the first step. I'm gonna go and restart this match back to how we started. And you can see there's no mist, no clouds in the shadows now. And I don't like to play with the bloom. That was the first thing we had to look at in the graphics tab, the animate fog and the bloom button. And this is the main setup of almost every civilization in the game. You start with 3 villagers. You can call them workers if you want. And you start with 1 scout. And quickly now, I'm just gonna bring up a text document here. Gonna reduce the size and put it always on top. And let's make a new document here. I can put it up here for the time being. Actually, I can have it up here. Now we're gonna talk about the standard resources. This is the most of the time on every map you get these resources. So we're gonna talk a little bit about standard resources. You get 4 sheep at the beginning. The 4 sheep at the beginning, they spawn always very close to the town center, and most of the time also in view, so you can weave them and get them right away at the beginning. You can see here's the 4 sheep. Use the scouting cavalry to move close to the sheep. And when you hear that sound effect, and when they change color to blue, that means you have the ownership of these sheep right now. That is the first resource that you want to get. There's also 4 extra sheep in two groups. Let's see if I can find the 4 extra sheep. They are usually scattered around the map It means you have to explore to find the sheep. Can just do a small rotation around the map here. Hey Alconer, welcome to the chat. Happy to see you. I will try to interact and speak to you when I can. Right now we are looking for the 4 extra sheep. There's 2 of them. We have 6 now. We need 2 more. Just gonna gather all the sheep here. Let's see if we can find the last 2 as well. They should be around here somewhere. You just have to look. And to give you some advice on the sheep positions, they should always be inside of a radius. You can see I'm making a radius around the map now. So they should always be inside of this radius here somewhere. Never too far away. The sheep will spawn. I could just also use sheets to get the sheep for you in this example, but I'm gonna show you the real way. Here we have the last 2 sheep. That means 8 sheep in total. And each sheep have 100 food storage of that resource. You have the resource, let's call it the bar up here. You can see we have wood, food, gold and stone. And next to it we have the population cap. That means how many military and how many workers you have. They both count as one, military and workers. And here we have the current state of age you are in. Back in the town center, the main working area, you can click up to the next age, but it's gonna cost you a lot of resources. Okay, so we have 8 sheep. We also have 2 boars / elephants. Sometimes you get elephants, most of the time you get boars. We have a boar over here. They have a lot of food, and you do want to get those each time. And in addition we also have 4 deers. The deers, they usually spawn a little bit further away than all of the other ones. Let's put a parenthesis and call it far away. They are over here. And the deers, they are the only unit in the game that you can actually push when you get close to them, like this. You can see you can push the deer. Okay, so that's the resources. Let's put it in food. This is the food resources. And let's go to gold. Gold is main group, 7 gold mines, and then we have 2 extra groups with 4 gold mines. The main goal usually always spawns close to your base and close to the town center. Town center is the place where you make villagers. And we can see it's 4, 7. That determines it's the main gold mine. And if I found down here, that's the extra gold mine. And we have also one over here. That's for the gold. And let's see if I can make it a little bit more visible for you guys. We also have stone with main group 5 stone mines and 1 extra group with 4 stone mines. So we have also stone, the stone resource, with the main stone mine being 5 stone mines, and the second one, I think it was down here, that's 4. And these are the standard resources for each player on most of every map, mostly each time. And then you also have forests that usually varies because it really depends on the map. If you have a map with big forest lines or a map with small forest lines. Okay, so I'm gonna restart again, and now we have the let's call it the overview, the list of resources that we have to gather. So the first thing you want to do when you start up, you can see you have 4 out of 5 on the population. So you want to go and make some houses. And we'll get back to that. You also want to go to the town center and click here and make some villagers. And get the 4 sheep at the beginning. When you have built the houses, you can just click under the TC, send them back home, bring a sheep over to the town center, and you can begin to take the animal. Okay. Usually you can see each time you make a villager, you can see it spawns at the base, outside of the base of the town center, like this. And you can right click with the mouse, you can set flags, and these flags, they will show where the villager must go. So you can right click on the sheep, for example, and that means let's right click on this sheep, and you can see the villager will immediately go to this sheep, instead of, again, I'm making more villagers to show you guys, instead of it just spawning here. This is the first step. You need to right click each time when you send off the villagers, so you can send them off doing something important. So you can see now we have a lot of workers on this sheep, and we're gonna soon be empty of these sheep. So we gotta go and find the extra sheeps now. I think one of them were over here or something. Let's see if I remember. Yeah. So get the extra sheeps, send them back to, right click when you send them away, right click to the town center again. So we get more food. You want to have food all the time. Also, I do recommend getting... We're gonna take it really easy, guys, and show you everything. I'm just gathering the sheep now. Let's also go to the wood. And we need to make... if you look at the population cap again, you need to make a new house. So it's looking really good. And now you have production, you have stable income with the food, so you can make villagers all the time. And now let's try to take the boar. In this case it's a boar. And I will show you something right before we move out. I'm just gonna idle the town center a little bit. You have a research technique technology here called LOOM, and it makes your villagers harder to kill by giving them more health, more HP, and also it gives it armor. It doesn't have any armor now. So you usually see this. This is normal for new players. You just click on the boar and maybe you forget that you did it. You didn't move it. And you can see the boar really hurts. It really hurts. So the villager, it just goes down. And again, I can show you another example here. Because sometimes when you try to run away from the boar, the villager will stop in its track and they just don't move. Let's see if I can do like this. You see, I didn't click far enough, so it will stop right here, and then you panic and the villager just dies. So what I really recommend doing in the beginner stage is this stage. The boar will also run back after a while. If you don't do anything, the boar will return to its position over here. Let's make this guy here the chosen one to bring in the boar. It should return after a while. There it goes. So what I really recommend doing at the beginning is to get the loom upgrade. Click on that. It costs you 50 gold. You can always afford it in at the start. You always start with 100 gold. Wait for it to finish. You can also see up here if you want to look at that as well. And you can see loom research complete. Now the villager has 40 health and also it has armor. So let's try that again. You can stay over here. I, by the way, used the hand to stop. To stop the villager. Let's try to kite it. Shoot it twice. You move away. Run to the to the town center. Select all with dragging the mouse, and then you just shoot the boar. And that's a nice kill, and you get all the food from the boar now. There's something else I want to mention right now, is that the town center, the main working area, it's also abbreviated. It's shortened down to TC, T and C. We call it a TC. So if I say TC, I'm talking about the town center. Let's try to get other boar now. We have researched loom earlier, so you have more health, you have more armor. Just stay close to it, shoot it twice, then you run away. You can right click a lot of times if you want to. That just makes sure that you get to the town center. When you're under it, you begin to shoot it, and there you go, the boar is dead. We can produce a little bit more villagers. There's also one more thing I need to add in the food section over here. There is also, let's add it under the sheeps. 6 berries. Let's call it for bushes as well. And the bushes, they should be, I think it's over here to the north. We have already taken all the sheep. We've taken the boars. I'm putting an X in there to make sure we did that. And over here we have the berries. Let's take a few of the villagers, make a mill over here, I'm gonna take it one step at a time, guys. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I'm just making a mill here now. And we can see we have enough food because we took the boars. So we have enough to click up now. Can send a few more to wood. And after you made the mill building at the berries bushes, you can make farms for 60 wood each. So you can make farms around the TC, around the town center, to boost your food economy even more. And you want to put it like right next to the town center. If I delete those again, some people can make it like tiles away, like this. You can see I built it tiles away now, and that's less effective because each time they get 10 food, they have to travel to the town center, and it's gonna be a longer distance to the town center. So you want to make it right next to the town center. And of course I don't have enough wood anymore because they cost 60 wood a piece. So right next to the town center, that's the best thing to do. We can see now we have the next age, the feudal age, and when you get up, you want to continue with the villager worker production. Always right click to the resource you want to go to. Instead, what happens if you don't right click? They will just spawn right there. So always right click. And same with the villagers. When you want to go to a resource, you do right click. And I think that's a good start. Let's restart the map again. And now I want to bring up something called hotkeys. Hotkeys is like shortcut keys on your keyboard. You can see if I hold over the buildings button, I have a hotkey with B. If I press B, I get started with the buildings. Some people click, and they click on the town center, and I click here. You can see you also have a hotkey for making villagers. I can just press C button. You can also click if you like to click at the start. So I have hotkey B and I have hotkey E for making a house. So I used B and E to make a house. You can see we have the population cap up there. And making houses give you 5 population more each time you make a house. So you want to, I can put the text document away for a little while. You want to keep an eye on the big screen. This is the big screen. You want to keep an eye on the population cap. You want to sometimes keep an eye on the resources. If you want to buy or take an upgrade, you want to keep an eye on the resources. And you want to keep an eye on the minimap. When you click on the minimap, you can move around. You can see I haven't explored that much yet. I haven't seen anything. And over here we have the score panel. The blue player being me, and the red player is the computer AI. And that icon next to the all the way to the right, the brown icon, that's the current age you are in. So you can see we are in dark age right now, both of the players. And we also have those types of weapon shields down here. That's the civilization you're playing. The face is the Cuman civilization, and the other one, if I can get this right, I believe that's Burmese, maybe. Let's see if that's correct. That's Burmese, yes. Okay, so each time you start, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit for you guys now to get started. Build the houses. The best thing is to make 2 houses at the beginning. Get the sheep. We remember it was 4 sheep. Also have villagers in the queue. You want to get 1 sheep at a time. Don't get don't take all the sheep at the same time. That's not that efficient, and I'll explain why. Because if you don't, if you are not taking the sheep, but you already slaughtered it, it's gonna decay over time, meaning that it will lose one food per second if you don't have workers around it. Okay, so now we have people on the sheep. In this example, I'm gonna put 7 on sheep. And you can see up here, underneath the food resources, you can see you have 6 on food. Now I have 7. You can also click on this icon all the way in the right corner, bottom right corner, and you can click it 2 times and you get the economy tab up here. 7 on sheep. I have a hotkey and I'll show you this before I move any further. You go to options, you go to hotkeys, and I think it is game commands, and right here on this part here you have minimap economic mode and minimap normal mode. The hotkey I have on these buttons is the side buttons on my mouse. If you have a mouse with side buttons, you can assign it to with the side buttons on the mouse. I'm doing it right now. So it's much easier to get to that button. You have to click on it twice if you do it normally. But if you have a mouse with side buttons on the mouse, you can assign the hotkey to that, like I did. And that way you can keep track on what you have. After you have 7 on food, we can go to the wood now. We already found all the sheep on this map because we played it so many times now. We have both boars down here. And I'll explain the scouting next time. Right now we're just going to focus on the economy. That's the main goal. We want to have 4 on wood and 7 on the food with the sheep. As you can see, we have 4 on wood now. Take the next one on board. Let's get the loom also. The loom we did earlier to make the villager more to make it more like stronger. Let's call it stronger. There we go. Immediately after it's researched, you want to make more villagers. You can just queue it in the queue over here. Shoot 2 arrows, then run away. Click to the town center, the TC. We need to make a house also. Let's do that. And that's a really good kill right there. We can already take the next boar. Same procedure. Just hit it twice and then run back to the TC, the town center. Because sometimes people forget about the villager standing there and shooting the boar. And when you forget about the villager, it will most likely sadly die, because the boar, it hits really hard. And you need to move the villager away from it. I'm also gonna send 4 villagers to the berries over here. And after I've done that, I believe I can click up. Let's try with we can try with this build here, 21. It's really fast, but we are gonna take it one step at a time. And when I finish this, I think we have enough. We did, really good. And let's put 8 on wood. You need the wood to make farms, remember? They cost 60 wood apiece. And build it right next to the base of the town center, like this. Really clean and smooth. And when these are finished with the sheep, you can click on the nearby trees around the town center. This is to give a extra wood boost again to make more farms. This is really clean and a good start. You get much food, you get the wood. And after a while you can put people on gold. I have a hotkey. I click B and F to make the farms. To make it more knowledgeable for you guys. And you can see you need 200 gold to click up to the next stage. And 2 feudal buildings. The feudal buildings, they are the following: blacksmith and a market. Let's see, this guy here can be banned. You make a mining camp when you go to the gold. This is just a really basic guide how to click up to the next stages. We can have 3 on gold. That's good enough, because you only need 200 gold. Need to make another house. We just got housed. That's why you need to keep an eye on the population also at times. The main big screen and the minimap is the most important thing. And then you watch your resources and the population. We also need a market. I'm making that now. Can make another house just to make sure that we don't get population caps. I don't know the difficulty the AI, the computer is on, but he was way slower than us. And he's also exploring the map. But that's why his score is that high, because when you move around and explore the map, you get more score. So for sure, our economy is much better than the computer. And now we just need 50 more gold, and then we can click up to the next stage again. And when we click up, I think, sorry, my throat, sometimes my throat is just not good. When we click up now, I think we can conclude this, and that's how you get a nice running economy. You can click up to the next ages quite fast. Let's restart again and go back again. We just clicked up the castle age. Again, I'm gonna show you the beginning. 2 houses, make villagers. You can click if you like to do that. Get the 4 sheep. But this time I'm gonna show you the exploration. So first off, we have something called control groups. I'm just typing it in caps. I'm sorry, guys. So control groups, they are an easy way to get to the group that you made. In this case, I made my scout cavalry the group of 1. So if I go far away, I can just click 1 on my keyboard and it's gonna put me back to the scout. And the way you do that, you go to your keyboard and you click the control button, control and one of the numbers. In this case, control and the number 1 key. I can switch it all the way up to 9 if I want to, like that. Even 10. 10, yes. 10, you do that by clicking control and 0, the not key. So you can place your control groups, and that applies also to the villagers, like this, and also all the buildings. If I do this, so you can see it's really nice to have. Now I control grouped everything, and also the animals, the herdables, and the resources that can move. You can't do it on the gold, for example. That's the unmovable object. So it's only on moving objects and on buildings. So you can do it on sheeps. So really good to have when you want to explore, for example. I'm gonna put this back to control group 1 by doing control and 1. Put this to sheep. And the way you can explore, there are 3 different ways you can explore in this game. The first one, this is my favorite method, so I'm gonna show this first. My favorite method is just to right click. Look at the town center and just right click all the time. And when you right click, you can effectively choose where to send it and where you want to go. That was the first method. You just right click in the shadow. The next one is when you have the scout selected, you hold in the shift key on your keyboard. You shift key, and I'm just going to stop it. Shift key and you right click. And when you shift click and right click, you can set waypoints, flags, and you can set as many as you want. And you see I made a pattern, a way for it to go, and then you just drop it off again by clicking right click. And now the scout will move in this waypoint flags area that I selected. Some people use that. I think it's like 50-50 on the popularity. Some people do the right click and some people do the shift click with the flags. And so, as you can see, you can place as many as you want to, and you drop it off by right clicking again at the end, and it's gonna go all those flags. And lastly, you have the last option on scouting, and this only applies to your starting scout. If you make another scout cavalry, this doesn't work. It's only on the starting scout, and it's this like compass icon. It's called Auto Scout. When you click on it, the scout will basically explore all of the map for you. The only problem with it is that sometimes it may move forward It may move to the side or like to the back of your base. So it's really important to find, again, the sheep and the boars at the beginning. Make sure you find all of these. The dares aren't that important. Let's just call it not important on the dares. But the rest of these, it's really crucial and important to find all of these. The sheep, the boars, and the berries. Absolutely necessary to get started, to find these objects and animals at the beginning. So I'm going to show you auto scouting. Remove the document. You can see the scouting is automatic. You don't need to click anymore. You don't need to do anything. And in this case, you can see it actually went forward. Say, for example, if you didn't find the boar to the side here, it's going to take a while before this scout is going to discover that. So always find your resources first before you enable the auto scout. That's my big recommendation here. So there you have it. You have I'm just gonna briefly tell it again. The 3 different scouting methods. I'm gonna stop it. You have right clicking. That's my favorite method. Use right click in the shadows. You have shift and right click to set waypoint flags, and you drop it off with the right click, and it's gonna go in that pattern. And the last scouting method is the auto scout, where the scout will automatically explore the map in the description. That's the way of scouting. We're gonna restart again. Now that I show you the scouting and the control groups. Again, I'm gonna show you, if you didn't watch it earlier, you have control groups in this game. You can use your keyboard by clicking control and one of the numbers. And this way you can, now I selected it at 9. This way you can look far away and you can just click 9 and you get back to that control group. It's one of the most common things you see here. You want to have that control group at all times. Also, let's see. Next up, I'm gonna show you guys a beginner mistake that the newcomers and beginners often do in this game, and that is house placement. They just build bases like this. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. Most of the time the bases look like minus the sheep, of course. They have already taken the sheep. Let's just send them away. This is just an example of a base. And as you can see, this is how it looks like most of the time. Exactly like this, you can say. I'm just going to disable the cheat code again. And this is like a typical base that you have. And first of all, I just don't want you guys to make houses like this, not right next to each other. You can do it in a later example. You can do this, but not when you play the games that I'm about to show you. I want you to spread out the houses like this, for example, and then you just make random houses. You can make one each next to each other, but not clumped and cramped together like that. You can make houses like this. This is much better than this. Okay, that was just an example. And now let's try to, yes, like my friend Alcorner says, so you can use the houses to make a wall instead of just having them right next to each other. You can make walls with the houses, like this for example. This is a small wall. Okay, so right now I want to take it a little bit a step further. So when you begin, this is something I forgot to mention, and this is really important as well. You have a hotkey to get to the town center. In my case it's H. I click the H button and I immediately get to the town center. So I press H and then I press C to make villagers. There is something else I have to tell you guys. Again, if you click on the all the way up in the right corner, you click on the scroll, and you go to options. You go to hotkeys, hotkey tab, and here in the bottom to the right you have choose default. And if you click on that list, you can see you have different types of hotkeys, and I'll explain all of this now. The definite hotkeys, these are the newest hotkeys to the game. They are for the Definite Edition, the game I'm playing right now. They are the freshest and the newest ones. Then you have the HD hotkeys. The HD hotkeys is from Age of Empires HD, from the 2013 game. If you play that and if you use the hotkeys from that game, you can use those hotkeys. And then you have the classic hotkeys that I'm using. The classic hotkeys are the ones that are the original ones. Sorry for my throat. They are the ones that came with the game. The ones that you had all the way back in the 90s when you first played Age of Empires. Those are the classic hotkeys. And if you play the Age of Empires back in the days, maybe you want to choose the classic hotkeys. If you play the newer versions, the high definition and the Definite Edition, you can choose one of those. And you can also make hotkeys profiles, so you can like have the custom hotkeys to everything in the game. Takes a lot of time, but if you want to do that, you just go through here and change the hotkeys. So I'm using the classic hotkeys. That's really important. With the classic hotkeys, you can just click H and C to make villagers, or you can click if you like to click. I'm gonna unpause the game again. Let's make 2 houses. Let's try to make it a little bit more standard now. We have the sorry, my bad. We have the control group, so you can select the scout really fast at 1. In this example, I'm gonna use 1 sheep to scout as well. This is after all for beginners. Gonna find the sheep over here, send the sheep away to my town center. Want to have 6 on sheep. And already right away you can see that this is much faster speed up from the earlier examples. This is to explore and get all the information we need. 6 on food. You can see underneath the food icon I have 6 on food. Let's make a lumber camp to get the wood. And now we already have most of the map explored around our base. I can tell that scouting in a circle like I did here, that's really useful, because again all the resources, all the gold, food and stone, they usually spawn inside of that circle, that radius. So when you scout around in circles, you will find all the resources that you need. I'm gonna pause for a second. We have 6 on sheep, 4 on wood. That's standard. And now you want to get the boar. This time I'm not gonna get the loom upgrade like we did earlier. I'm gonna select it at control group 3. Shoot it twice, run away. Let's go to barracks. Make a house. Don't want to get housed. Shoot the boar. Like that. I'm gonna show something else next time on the next boar. Let's make a mill over here. And here's something really good to have. You can select these villagers working on the boar to control group 2. And that way you can just click 2 to get to them. And you right click on the town center to deliver the food. That's really efficient and good. Okay, so I'm gonna pause for a second. We have a button over here on all of the villagers called garrison. I have a hotkey G for it. The garrison is to enter a building. You can enter town centers, TCs, and you can enter towers, and you can enter castles. Those are the 3 buildings that you can enter. I'm just going to show an example. If I garrison here, you can see I get inside. Can go out again. So when I lure this next boar, I want to garrison inside of the town center to make it safer and take less damage from the boar. This is without the loom, you take more damage. Right click, shoot the boar, garrison inside. Out again and shoot the boar. And that way you can see I saved a lot of HP health on the villagers. Okay, I will check out that YouTube link, Alcorner, for sure. This time let's try to go up with 22. This is a much more safer build and safer, let's call it a safer uptime. I'm also making a military building, a barracks over here. This is working on the basics and economy. That's the first part. And when they are finished with the boar, I'm just going to pause for a sec. The sheep and the boar, they are 2 different types of, let's call it animals. So when you are done with the boar, the villager, they will stop in its track. They won't do anything else because there are no more boars to harvest, to take. So when they are finished with the boar, they will stand there. Like that. You can see they stand there. They don't do anything. I'm just going to remove this villager really fast and get the loom. Like that. And when they are done with the boar, it's really important to right click on the next sheep. So they can continue with the work. And since we have many sheep here, they will automatically go to the next sheep. So you don't have to worry about that. Also, right click on the town center now and you can click up. 22 pop. That's a good population and a good uptime. You want to have 8 on wood. Let's make another wood camp down here, so you have 2 wood camps, 4 on each. 4 on each, sorry. 4 on the berries. Let me just type this in a text document so you guys can see this. So we have summary. We have 8 on wood, 4 on berries, and then let's make 4 farms. Again, you need a mill to make the farm. This is for beginners, for newcomers. So you need to have a mill, and when you have the mill, you can make farms for 60 wood each. Can put a little bit on the trees nearby the town center to boost the wood income. Always make the farms right next to the base of the town center to make sure that the travel distance isn't that far. Okay, now we have 4 farms as well, and 8 on wood. This guy here, he can be the military building worker. When you get up, you can make, you need 175 wood, of course. Wait a little bit, and we can make the stable. The stable, that they make more horses, more cavalry, and again you can put this on auto scout to explore all of the map. That's really good. I forgot to do it earlier. We have upgrades in the mill and on the lumber camp. I recommend getting the lumber camp upgrade first. It's gonna cost 100 food and 50 wood, and then you can do the mill upgrade. And now you can produce some scouts. Each scout costs 80 food each, and you produce some scout while making more farms around your town center, and that should give you a really good economy and a good advantage in the lower levels. But you also have to make sure you don't get housed. Remember to look at that all the time. You can see we have hotkey on the starting scout. He has the auto scout option. The new scout, they don't have that. It's only the starting scout that can do this. And yeah, you need to find the enemy and you can do some raiding. But in this tutorial we don't look at that. We don't look at attacking the enemy, unfortunately. It's only gonna be about economy and getting started with your economy this time. Okay, so let's quit this map. Go back to the main menu. We have a Learn to Play button down here. Click on it. Go to the Art of War, and this is the goal for this stream. Is to learn the early economy. I've already shown you everything about this in the start of the stream. So let's do this first. Let's call it mission. And here I have a build order. We're gonna practice this like 2 or 3 times. It's actually in Norwegian, so I'm just gonna quickly population. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna translate this really fast. Just a moment, I'm getting there. Just a second, we're soon there. Up to feudal age. This is the summary. Okay, that's it. That's good. Okay, so again, I'll show you what I did. This is the main menu. Go to Learn to Play. Go to the Art of War. And we're gonna focus on the early economy. That's the main point of this stream today. Gonna click on this. Gonna skip it. And gonna skip that. Pause for a second, and right now we're gonna minimize this a little bit. Maybe we can have it like this, and I'm gonna remove the okay. Yeah, we can have it like this. This is the build order we're gonna look at. A build order is something, it's like a guide you can follow to get started. And all of these, that's the population. And it's gonna be scout, stable, sorry, my throat again. I'm really sorry. I'm trying my best here. So it's gonna be a scout stable build order with 21 villager, like this. Okay, so we're gonna do this like two or three times. I'm gonna do it a little bit fast, so just try to follow and see what I do. So the first thing, this is standard start. You have the scout, you have the villagers. The game is paused. I'm gonna unpause it now, and you can watch what I do. You can follow it here with the pop and see what I do. Notice that I have two sheep scouting. You don't have to do this. You can use one with the control groups if you feel comfortable doing that. Also, I just need to go and do something in the hotkeys really fast. Sorry about this. It is here and Just a second, guys. I'm sorry. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Find the sheep, send the sheep back home. You can see I already found all the sheep, actually. 6 on sheep. That's this line, 7. Now you want to go to the wood. Yeah. And it's already telling us what to do, but we know this. We know that 8 is forest. I'm gonna upload this guide to YouTube and to my Discord for those who wants to look at it. This build order, I would say. So now you just want to get forum wood. I'm not paying that much attention that I wouldn't normally, but this is just for training and showing you guys. And I use the right click to the shadow. You can use the shift click and set waypoint if you want to. I'm used to just right clicking. Sorry, I'm just gonna go back. Yeah, there we go. Okay, next one is boar. Boar is... Now is a good time to start luring a boar, like in the video. It might not work the first time you try it. So, embarrassingly, I didn't find the boars yet. That's a big problem. That's the first one, good. Okay, I'm just gonna take the boar. A house, we need a house. We are already on this line here. That's the loom if you need to. I don't loom. A garrison to make it safer. A house to don't get housed. And let's make the mill where they want it. Again, use a control group on the villagers taking the boar, so you can just select them and right clicking to the TC to drop off food. It's really useful. Like that, so you can make more villagers. Next one is BOAR. I think it's up here. And right now we are on 16. We are on this one, BOAR hunt. Next one to bushes, as you can see. Just moving the sheep out of the way so we can get a clean kill here. Garrison again. Garrison that one so he doesn't get killed. Let's make a forward villager now. It's this one. Let's make a barracks as well. And since the BOAR position wasn't that good, I'm just going to put the rest to sheep. It's going to be 3 more villagers. It's 21 villager. Just in time. Do not get housed that long. And I also said this. Remember, when the BOAR expires, you need to get over to the sheep. So just gonna have them ready and prepared for that. One more villain and we're gonna loom. Yeah, that's a really good advice from the narrator here. Just gonna do this and click up. And that was exactly for gold medal here. And that's it. If I just click the continue button and return to map. So I'm just gonna explain what you want to do after this. You want to... This builder is actually FEUDAL right here, I think. Because this is with the scout. So this builder is actually with 23 pop, not 22. But here's what you want to do. You have 4 on wood now. And you want to send 6 more to wood. I recommend building another wood camp, lumber camp. So you have 5 on the first one and 5 on the second one. So you have them spread out with 10 on forest. 2x, you can see I type it right here. And also you have 4 on bushes. These are the bushes, 4 up here. In this build you also make 2 farms with the wood you have to spare. And you want to have 2 villagers forward when you get up to FEUDAL, so you can make the next military building much faster. And uptime here, it's around 10 to 13 minutes is good. And when you send everything away, like 10 to wood and 2 villagers forward to make the next military building in FEUDAL, you're gonna have 3 left on sheep. In this case, since we did 1 pop earlier, I know it says 22, but it's gonna be 23 actually. I think. So in this case you might have only 2 on sheep after the 2 farms, and that's completely fine. And when you get up, there is something else. You can't do it right now, man, but you can also queue villagers behind this FEUDAL, so you can queue up villagers. So always make sure you have a production going. And when you get up, you want to buy the upgrade here and buy the upgrade on the mill. And take the trees around your town center to boost your wood income again, and make farms around your TC. And that's basically it. Nice. Let's do that one more time.
You need to gather 500 feudal, train 21 villagers, and then advance to the feudal age in order to complete the challenge.
Right click when you select them to the sheep. And you can see the clock up here for gold medal. That's the aim, again, to get the gold medal. You need to have 6 on food. And now we can go to wood.
You also need a lumbercamp and a mill. Place the lumbercamp right next to the forest on your left. Place the mill right next to the forest bushes in the north of your base.
Try to, when you gather the sheep, try to place it right next to the one that's being harvested. So it's much closer and less travel distance, you know, to get the next sheep. Four on wood. You can go with 3, but in my examples we go with 4 on wood. 4. Let's go and take the first boar. Let's take the closest one. Can put this one auto scouting now actually, so you don't have to worry about it. Next one is to make a house and get on the berries. Like this, and let's go and... Okay, we don't care about the extra sheep. That's not in this builder. And now we are here again on 16.
Keep your villagers working at all times, and also assure that your town center never stops producing villagers. Only then can you hope to earn a medal from this challenge.
And it can be a little bit scary and tricky sometimes to get the boar, but if you use the garrison, I'll show you one more time. Garrison is this key. I have a hotkey G for it. You can have a hotkey that you like, and then you can just jump into the town center to avoid getting hurt by the boar. And once it's inside, you have another key here in the town center where you can unpack it and send it back outside again. You can see the scout is auto scouting, so it's just traveling all over the map. Hold on, it's one more pop. Just have them ready, because when the boar is done, you have to move over to sheep. like this.
You have gathered 400 food. You are so
Get the loom,
close. 21
and hopefully we're gonna be inside of the range here to get the gold medal.
You managed to gather the
Yeah.
food and train the villagers necessary to proceed.
I just barely made it again. It's really tight, but I think
Advance to the next age. Well done.
it's purposely made like that. But you get gold medal again if you do this, and that's the build order. Let's see if I can show you guys something else. I think I've covered the basics and economy quite good now. There's something else I want to mention. If I go to multiplayer ranked, we don't have to do this right now. I'm just gonna show you that Arabia, this is the map that we have played all day. You can see Arabia is the first in line. Arabia is like the most popular and the most played map. Everybody likes to play Arabia most of the time. So that's why we've practiced on Arabia today. Arabia is like a big open desert map, and I can show you again here in single player. We can talk a little bit about Arabia. I think that's good to know. Notice that I took the minimap explored now, so we're not gonna play for real. Again, I can put up this text document here. It's this one. We have the food. We have the 4 sheep at the beginning. This is Arabia. Then we have the 4 extra sheep. They are down here. Then we have the 2 boars. That's the first one. Let's see. And the second one to the right. And we have theirs. Sometimes you can get 3 dares, like here, and it's the same for the opponent. Sometimes it's 3 and other times it's 4. We have the gold, the berries, and the stone. We have 3 gold mines and 2 stone mines. On Arabia, you can see it's like very open and easy to travel. Let's call it travel. And there's something else about Arabia. You can see it has big hills, big hills is probably the best description. And the thing about hills, elevation in this game, is that for example, if I takes a little while, but I'm gonna show you guys. Hills on Arabia is really important because it's bonus damage on top of hills. So if I were to stay here, stand here, and my opponent were downhill here, he would take more damage from my hits when I stand on the top. So to describe it, you take more damage if you stay on the flat land, on the flat land. On the hills, you deal more damage to the ones that stay below it. I hope that's a good description of it. And that applies to both ranged and melee, both arrows and swords. So if you can, always try to take a good fight on top of the hill while the opponent is below the hill. That's really important here on Arabia. There's something else we can also talk about. You can see these weird objects over here. They are called relics. And that's for Castle Age. when you get all the way up to Castle Age. You can make a monastery, and there is a monk inside of the monastery. You train a monk, and the monk can pick up these relics, these holy objects, and you right click on the object, same you do as the villager picking up a resource. And when the monk has picked up the relic, you bring it back to the monastery. The monastery, it's the building where you produce the monks. And for each relic you collect, there are 5 on every map, on every 1v1 map at least. Let's put the score back up. And when you collect a relic to the monastery, you get 1 gold per second. So if you manage to collect all the 5 relics, you get 5 gold per second, and that's really helpful and good for the long and extended games you play. The longer you play, the more important the gold will be. So absolutely a good tip here to pick up the relic. You can't do it before you get to Castle Age though. And I think I've covered Arabia then. We have some cliffs. You can't cross or like walk over cliffs. You have to walk around it. A few cliffs here in Arabia. And the most important aspect of Arabia is probably to maybe wall your base. I'm just gonna use some sheet here. You can wall with a palisade wall. This is just an example. And you can see now I have a fully walled base, if this was walled. There is also something else. This is to make multiple buildings. I haven't shown you this yet. As we already talked about, you can click if you want to make houses. Or you can make hotkeys with B and E for me. And you see, each time I need to go in and out to make the house. And that's really... it's really a lot of work to just click all the time. Or click like this. That's a lot of work, you can see that. The way you make multiple buildings, that applies to all the buildings, is that you first click, if you click of course, and have the foundation ready. I can do the same here with B and E for hotkeys. Have the foundation ready, and then you hold the shift key. Hold the shift key, then you click on the mouse. You hold the shift key, and then you can place multiple buildings like this. That's also really helpful. So again, you place the foundation, have the foundation ready, I mean, then you hold the shift key, and then you just click. Remember that it costs 30 wood each per piece, so you have to be kinda rich to do this. And yeah, I think I've covered everything. And please, guys, don't make your base like this. This was just an example, okay? Don't make your base like that. It is just to show off that you can make multiple buildings. Okay. I think I have covered most of the things now. You can also go back to the cog, click the cog wheel, click on the mods, and you can download by clicking on the browse mods. You can download the mods that you like. In the next episode I'm going to be talking about the mods. So today it was just the basics and getting your economy running. I think I've done all I wanted to do there. All I wanted to do. Alconnor, are you still in the chat? Are you still here, Alconnor? Let's see if we can find Mr. Alconnor here. Sent on my Twitch. Is it we were friendly? Let's just try to watch it and see what Alconnor shared with us. Okay, this looks funny. Okay, it's a song. Nice. I'm watching it. So you have a lot of fun and like yeah, fun and addicted sound effects in this game. The most famous one will be the wololo, the wolololo. So this guy, he made a wololo mix right here. That's quite funny. Gonna give him a thumbs up for that one. I think I'm I also like the vibe, Alconnor. That was a great video. Great video. If you guys have any questions, like if you wonder about anything, maybe I can show it before I end the stream here. I think I've done the most necessary this stream to show you the basics and economy. I can show you this. So you have different game modes when you are completely new to this game. You have multiplayer, and you have we have quick play, and you have unranked lobbies. I saw a picture here the other day, like a statistics of how many people play the different game modes. And quick play, there is not that many people that do quick play actually. So the best way to do it if you are completely new, you can do find a custom game. Click on this button, and you go to the lobby browser. I think we are already there, and right now we are on the list of lobbies. And you can sort it by type of map, the map you want to play, and you can sort it by how many players are in the room. And as you can see, it's a lot of Asian and Chinese players online right now, because it's not that late on the day. But It's only to find a map and a room that you want to join, and you press join lobby. And then most of the time you can play with the people here. Probably find a English speaking room would be a start, so you don't have to play with Asians and Russians and things like that. And you can see many people, they put a noob behind the title, so you can join beginner friendly games. I'm really sorry about my throat. I really try my best, but it goes all over the place sometimes. And don't join the no noobs rooms, because they usually are better players. You can join the noob rooms and the other rooms. And when you feel confident and you feel like you're ready to explore more, you can begin to play ranked games. And the way you do that, you can play 1v1, and you can ban the maps you don't like to play and put the star on the map you want to play. Or you can play up to 2v2, 3 versus 3, 3v3, or 4 versus 4. That's the highest number. And you want to do it on the random map. Deathmatch, that's a different game mode. You want to click on the random map. So if you want to play 1v1s, you check that box. I can't do it right now because I need to do a benchmark test before I can play. And yeah, you find the mode that you prefer and you like the most. For example, I'm a team game player. I like to play team game more over 1v1s, and that's called a team game player. And if you like to play 1v1s all the time, you go to this tab and you used to play 1v1s. I think I've covered everything then in this first episode. Yeah, I can also show one more last thing. If you are the guy that wants to have a cool profile picture, you click on this button, and in here you can choose different profile picture. Keep in mind that you have to win games. You have to win games, and then you can unlock more profile pictures. And also down here, if you want to have a Civ specific profile, you have to win like 10 games with that civilization. Yeah, I think I have talked about most of the things today. I can stay around for a little longer if you guys have any questions, both for beginners or for advanced. I can try to answer them. And it's really recommended to click on the Learn to Play button and maybe Art of War. William Wallace, that's the first campaign you play through. If you want to play campaign, you click on this one, and this one here is for training. We already did early economy, and in the next episode we're gonna talk about more like rushing and defending and these types of things here. There's also something else I can show you before I close the game, and this is this has to do with your monitor and the way you like to play. So this is the default big screen. If you click on the scroll, and go to options and go to interface, and you see this HUD scale. This is how big the main screen will be. So if I do this, put it up to 116%, you can see that the minimap just got bigger and the screen just got a little bit bigger as well. And if I go back here and put it all the way back down, you can see it's really slow. Tiny, I mean. So that's just how you want to play it. If you want to have it interface big, you can have it big. I usually have it at 91%. That's my thing. And yeah, that's what I wanted to show. You can have also different types of fonts, and you can take a look at this, of course, yourself. And this is how the game will look like. But I don't recommend playing at this, because you can see the minimap is too big and everything is just gigantic. So you want to have it 100 is the default one. This is the default one, but I play at 91. That's my thing. Also, usually you can do this when you click up and you don't have anything happening to you. You can click on this icon. This takes you to the technology tree, and you can see what your civilization can make and what it can do. The crosses, the axes, are not accessible, so they can't get the eagles, for example. Lithuanians, they can't make eagles, and they can't get elephants, for example. And you can see that all the upgrades are available and things like that. And you can also, if for example, if you want to go ranked, if you feel ready for that, you can also check the technology tree in here while you are waiting for the queue. Okay, I think I'm done here. I don't see questions today, so I believe I'm just gonna end the stream here now. And you can take a look at my video and how I did the early economy. I need to go and take a glass of water. That's my main priority right now. My throat is not having a good day. Thank you for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll be back next weekend, next Friday.